That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me fuck all that shit, just let me go.
Yeah, broadcasting live from Art here. This is one badass. You right now. The don't land is I Tommy see the job point. I got AC Matt Pitt in the backup, and our special guest today is Gemy.
Hello.
How are you? Apparently,
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me.
You and you also brought your manager or
my moderator Roach is with me as well.
You brought your moderator Roach is his name?
Yeah, Roach. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Roach. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm doing good. How are you?
All right. So you caught our attention with quite possibly one of the funniest tweets I've seen this year. So let's see if I can get you up there. No, everything's messed up and different now. I have to remind me to change everything since we had to do the update. So I have a couple girls who are interested in helping, but I need a bit more currently. Recruiting e-girls to start a Discord server where we rehabilitate socially inept men who need help talking to females. Are you an e-girl? Have you always wanted to talk to an autistic man? DM me. And this... I don't know what you've done prior, but you got quite the response, 1,000 likes. Did it surprise you that this went as well, or if you want to call it that, as you expected?
You can call it that, yeah. Well, I was definitely shocked that it gained as much traction as it did. I was kind of expecting it to kind of stay in my small circle, but I guess just the idea of it caused it to kind of just roll and get out of my hands, and it led to some problems with the initial start of the server, but you know, I was hyped for it, you know. So the more the better.
Is this server up and operational?
Yes.
Is it monetized in any way? Are you able to monetize it in any reasonable way? Like, what do I got to do? Like, I can't talk to chicks. Like, how do like?
Currently, no, it's not monetized. If it happens to land in some type of long-term trajectory where I can get the ball rolling even heavier, I'll consider taking in donations. So only specifically so I can maybe financially, pay some of the e-girls to help out a little more.
I imagine. I mean, my first thought is you're an entrepreneur. This is a fantastic idea. But like, can I safely say you're doing it out of the goodness of your own heart right now? Because you're not like, so I'm a autistic man that gets rejected by every woman that I come across. If I'm even brave enough to open my mouth when there's a woman around, I could just go in right there and you're going to help me for like nothing right now for free.
So, what usually happens is you go in, you just like, check mark, you read the rules, you check mark the disclaimers, which is just basically rules with extra stuff. Okay. And then you go get your roles, either a non-attendant, which means like you're kind of just here to like mingle like with the crowd and watch. Then we have the attendant role, which is like, you're actually like maybe actively seeking some e-girl advice and you're looking for some help. And then we have a mingle role where like the attendants can mingle with the non-attendants.
How much success have you had? Have you interacted directly with any of the men so far?
Yes, I have. Yes.
How does that conversation go? Like, can I be the autistic guy, and then you kind of play along?
Yeah, of course. Let's do it.
I'll do it.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Oh, hey.
How do you handle that?
Yeah. But most of the men I've interacted with in the voice chat channels, even the ones that have the attendant role and have been looking to schedule with some of the e-girls we have available, they've been like pretty normal, like pretty nice.
Really?
Like, really.
All right. Cool let me do my other one. Nobody will talk to me. Help me. How would you go? Where would you go from there?
We did have a couple run away. Like they realized there was females in the server, I don't know how they didn't expect that, and they left immediately.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was a thing.
so you were like, "Hi, how you doing? What's your name?" Like all of a sudden, like
Yeah,
they're
they
out.
just started. They just bounced real fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how do you propose that? What are you gonna tell these guys? Like, how do you propose to help them?
It's tough. It's definitely not easy. There's no solid plan.
Yeah.
I'm the type that kind of just like improvises as it goes along.
Mhm.
So, I've definitely been asked some tough questions.
It's like nobody else is helping.
So, the most I can do is kind of like offer them some social interaction. And if they need advice, like there is quite a few e-girls, if they're like tagged, they'll offer like their genuine opinion on something. Most of them are pretty open to like, if you tag them like, hey, can I privately DM you about something? They'll be like, yeah, go ahead. And, they probably, I know quite a few of them are DMing privately.
You need to charge for
getting
this.
some advice.
You need to get money for this.
I know. It's
There's
not
no way
fair
I'd
to
be
the
doing this
e-girls.
shit for free.
Not fair.
Absolutely not. All right, like, aren't you worried? I mean, psychiatrists go through this too. With both sexes, really go through this. What happens when they fall in love with you? How are you going to deal with that?
Mm-hmm.
It's already happened.
Well, we did have a video flasher in the server.
Yeah, but that's not love. We'll get into that. We'll get into that a little later.
I don't know if we had any really deep developing romances yet. That's an interesting.
Well, it's just a matter of time. I mean, some of these guys just might want to talk to you.
Within my disclaimers,
yeah.
I basically put like, I cannot guarantee that like these e-girls are single. Like most of them are here to give advice. If they are single, and you're their like Prince Charming, great. Like you guys have fun.
What are the odds of that happening? Giving them false hope. Jesus Christ! They're probably in it for a buck too.
I just heard through the rumor mill, a couple places that a couple like not that anything has budded anything officially, but I heard a couple are talking, and
really,
there's like.
Are they going to meet up at the next like Sonic the Hedgehog convention or something?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go to the Sonic the Hedgehog convention together, or like Thomas the Tank Engine, like whatever they plan on doing together. I just hope they have fun.
I'm going to be honest. Everything you're saying in one ear out the other, like
why
every
is that?
real woman.
Why is that?
So, well, it's kind of this. I hear this background noise when she starts speaking. It's like monotonous. It's kind of like if you have like a fire alarm. If you had like a fire alarm going off for long enough, you just get used to it, right?
Oh God,
so that's
you're not.
I have a very like I don't know if you know how the adults talk in Charlie Brown. I've been described like that once.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to describe it.
I disagree with you completely. I think she's interesting and she's doing something interesting, and your Joe sucks. How about that?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, your Joe just
simping
sucks,
right now?
and I think what she's telling me is
Whoa,
absolutely
whoa.
fascinating.
You're simping right now.
I'm not simping at all. I'm trying to find out. This is a funny situation, and you just came in here and said you suck.
You're like soying over some random girl on the internet.
I'm married with two fucking kids, you dipshit.
I think he needs to enter the daycare, man. I think he.
Oh no, he hates women.
Those are some of our prime targets. There's some of our prime.
I think what you're doing.
No, I realize that the real way to find women is to go to church.
Yes, that's what we're doing. That's a great idea. Yeah, like women that go to church
asked,
won't take you for everything in divorce, just like anybody else.
I get asked, why aren't you telling these guys to go outside? And when I get a hold of them, like quite a few of us do tell them to go outside. It's
go outside and do what though? Anybody can step outside. Like what I have a love phones on here. What I usually tell guys to do is because they have if you're gonna meet a girl, have her bring her girlfriend, and you bring a friend, and interact that way. You really always want a wingman, and then even encourage the girl. It's like, yeah, bring your girlfriend, no problem.
Tommy, if she has a girlfriend, she's gay. Duh.
Yeah, that's it. I always thought that's a pretty good start. I'm a little old-fashioned though. I mean,
that's
I think
definitely an old-fashioned way to look at it.
Yeah.
My dad did that when he was dating before he met my mom, and he ended up dating a stripper midget for about like 4 months because he got hooked up into a double blind date, and
is that right? And he told you that?
Yeah, he told me he had a 4-month relationship with a stripper.
With a stripper midget. How tall was she, you think? Was this after he had you or before?
question because I'm 4'11", you know. It makes me wonder something.
Are you really 4'11"? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You're probably the shortest woman I ever met, though. And I dated a girl when I was in high school who was 5 feet tall. So yeah, I guess you got the record. So the thing is, like, I imagine there's some confidentiality between the conversations with these guys. And we are in the early process of this particular venture, I imagine.
Oh yeah, of course. There's so much that has to be worked on yet. Yeah,
yes.
Totally.
This is God's work you're doing. I don't know what AC's talking about.
I try. I really, like, you know, some people think I'm just joking.
I don't think you're joking at all.
Like, there is, like, you know, of course there's parts of me that get laughs out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. But I really do try. Like, the ones that come to me in, like, you know, private and, like, really need somebody to talk, I try to, like, my hardest to be there for, like, anyone who, like, genuinely comes to me and, like, has some questions. I try to be there, try to answer them, like, try to give, like,
what are the guys like telling you? Like, what are they telling their problem? What do they want for the most part, besides, like, the obvious?
Okay, so the ones that come to me, like, privately, like, seeking advice, you know, looking to be genuine with me, they're often, you know, obviously not disclaiming anyone in particular, but they often all have the same problem, which is, you know, they just are in some type of situation. Maybe it's like a workplace or like a college setting where they just haven't met women their age that are, like, just really willing to even, like, listen to them or talk about their hobbies or, like, you know, really interact with them at all.
So you just are you telling me you just yell them to death? Like, yeah, I'm into Transformers. Sorry, Optimus.
No,
and
no,
then, like,
good.
yeah, it's great.
For me, it's about, like, genuinely listening. So, you know, it's like, if they're showing me something, I will tell them if I'm not interested, or, like, that hasn't happened yet, but most of the time I've been, like, actually genuinely interested.
What do they talk? Is that what you think
hobbies?
the problem is with these men, that nobody's just interested in their dumb hobbies? Because I usually tell these guys, don't bring up your dumb hobbies, keep them to yourself. That's usually my advice.
They just want someone that's going to, you know, hear out whatever kind of things they're working on in their pastime that they find like very important to them, and they've also had a lack of women that are just willing to listen to that, or like even how they like felt that day, like, hey, you know, how was you know, whatever today, and it's like, oh yeah, good, thanks for asking. Like, you know, I've literally never had a female ask me that before. I'm like, that's fucking dark. Like,
so it's really just, it's kind of a pacifier. You're not really trying to help them, you're just trying to get them through the day, but you're not doing what normally you do. You're not showing skin or legs.
It's a pacifier for man children.
It's a band-aid. It's not a permanent solution. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what permanent solutions I can offer them yet. I don't know if we can start maybe figuring out, you know, like ways to get them to like figure out how can we, like, you know, interact with girls your age and like be successful. You know, I feel like that's kind of like a very Zoomer male problem. Like, you know, quite a few of them.
Here's what I wonder, because I'm
women to talk to.
Here's what I wonder, because I'm in my 40s, and my impression of boys today is they're pretty much all like the guys you talk to, but I mean, I imagine that can't be entirely the case. It's just the, you know, with streaming and video games and stuff like that, you're gonna have more of those men. Do you see, like, there's definitely an increase, I think we both agree on that, but are there more of these guys in like traditional sort of like, they called me like a dude bro when I was growing up. I was in the army, I played hockey, stuff like that. Yeah,
I know men outside the server. My little brother, he's about like 7 years younger than me. He's a Zoomer. You know, he's like, I'm 28, he's 21. His friends are like 19, 20, 21, 22.
And they're all dorks? I mean, none of them. No. Like, I had dorky hobbies, and I still had a girlfriend.
Quite a few of them. Like, you know, they have their hobbies, like, sure. You know, most of the time it is gaming. Like, some of them definitely like don't invest like heavily into it, where it should be a problem. Like, where it's like, you know, and I talk to them, and I hear from his friends like quite often, and they're like, you know, judging off of like my female perspective, they're attractive guys. Like, they're very like, yeah, really? they're very handsome, and like the problem is, they have great social skills. you know, they're not like, I don't notice anything that I can really like pick out that like woman would be sitting there like, you know, being like,
hold on
I
a
don't know. But,
second.
like,
AC, why are you trying to sabotage me? I mean, this is an interview, you moron.
What did I do?
I just what is this you wrote in the chat here? Let me look at this. It's an interview. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. It's funny. If you just want to say girl bad, I don't know, go on Doc's show and do it.
No, I had a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah,
give me a question.
Give me 1 second. I'll finish up this real quick anecdote, and then so the thing is, these guys like that my brother knows, they're like perfectly normally acclimated to society. Like there's nothing wrong with them. And quite a few times, they can only find women that are into hookups, and they're just at the point where they just want a long-term thing, or like at least to like begin to attempt one. And a lot of them are like, actually, you know, they'll come back from like a party and they'll be really depressed. Like, you know, I'm like, you know, my brother would be like, "What's up?" And I'm like, there too, just listening in. And it'll be like, you know, it's just like nobody was interested in anything other than either a hookup or just not interested in them at all. Period. And like these are guys that I would consider. Like, you know, if I was like their age back in like that time, like out of my league. So,
gotcha.
You know.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, you're 28. You're in the 30-year-old guys that got their shit together. You know?
Yeah.
I would imagine. That's
Here's my question.
What's that? Go ask a question.
What?
Ask a question.
Can I ask it?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to ask. It's an actual serious question.
Yes. Go. Shoot, you dipshit.
Gemy, so do you believe that like an internet relationship, do you believe that those work out? Like, do you think, you know, people meet together online and that it really pans out into something, you know, or it has like a shot? Because I mean, you're here and you're trying to get guys to talk to girls, but you're doing it in an online format, you know, and they're not actually speaking to them face to face, like in real life. I mean.
Honestly, I believe it's like e-dating is a joke. No, I'm kidding. I'm just fucking with you. I literally met my fiance. Like we fucking met in Discord.
Go ahead.
All right, so you did meet somebody on Discord, and you actually did have like a stable relationship in real life.
He's in the other room, like probably watching like I don't know, like Mario speedruns and programming.
Well, that's the thing. I see a lot of people that are like Zoomers and everything. They get advice a lot of the time, and usually from older people, it's like, oh, it's online. It's never going to work. There's no chance. There's no shot. And I get where that's coming from. But I personally can like, I would say whatever works the best works the best. You don't have to meet somebody in like a very old-fashioned format.
I would agree with that. I mean,
find somebody online if they're good enough, and if you're serious enough about actually doing something with it, not this fucking Discord kitten bullshit.
I think, of course, and that's where people kind of like fall into this trap, like, you know, of like getting into like this really pathetic relationship. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't want to stick words in your mouth, but I think what she's doing, I think she's been very clear, and she hasn't been deceptive at all. We're talking about guys that can barely get a word out. Even in the Discord, they hang up. She's just trying to get the ball rolling with the slightest bit of comfort. We're not talking about a guy that's maybe had one or two girlfriends before that's having trouble finding a new one. We're talking about guys that are like non-existent, and they're just like, even to talk to a female is it an accomplishment. That's what I think.
We're talking about curing autism.
No, they're not.
Curing autism.
I've had guys DM me and like ask me to turn my camera on while I'm in VC. I mean, obviously I could be getting you know, like trolled through this. Like sure, like, you know, I don't know, you know, why.
As long as you're getting their money.
But like I've had some of them ask me, hey, look, I just want to practice eye contact while you have your camera on, because I've never
practice eye contact. That's
they're like,
fucking funny.
And and I'm hoping they're not like trolling me when they say that, because I'm like, oh, I hope that's it. And like I'll turn on my webcam and I'll be like, okay, like
you put that thing in their eye to see if they're not staring at your tits.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stare like right at the webcam, and like I gotta put on like, you know, a sweater or something, and just make sure that all they can see is my eyes.
Tommy, can I ask a question?
What?
So I went into the server a few days ago just to kind of see what was going on. I just had a quick question. Are you worried? Because I was listening to some of the conversation. Are you worried at all about some of the guys in there by any chance? Like
coming to kill you?
There's some weird conversations going on. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, absolutely. There's some like what I like to call is Fed posting without getting into much detail. Like there's some Fed posty stuff. Like, you know, guys like to talk loud talk, and that
What's
does worry
what?
me.
I'm sorry, I'm an old man here. I'm a boomer. What is Fed posting?
How would we describe?
Basically posting things that are extremely like illegal and talking like incitements to like things that would get you put on a watch list.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
It's a pretty genuine
alerting the feds. Is that why it's called Fed?
Yeah.
posting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Posting like a Fed.
What was I
I
thinking?
worry that this server is going to be put on some type of weird list, but
Oh, that's-
and understandably so, like with some of the way these guys act in voice chat channels,
Yeah.
But that is a concern, and I do kind of keep like a little bit of tabs on like who said what. But like there's no perfect system yet, and that's like
Sure.
why I need to start creating some like fail-proof safety nets, because the thing is sure, we're only about 5 days into the server, but I can't just let it go as is, because let's say we're 6 months into the server, I can't have these guys saying that stuff, and then what if like, hey, like there's some lunatic lurking and like he's taking everything everyone's saying to heart, and like he's like he's not understanding there's like layers of irony behind this, and so like God forbid, like I'm not gonna say it, but just shit happens. But like that would be the worst fucking
Well,
case
yeah,
scenario.
I mean, I think probably a game plan. I just like, honestly, what you need to do is have events and then talk to the guys as a group, and then I think like one-on-one, well, especially if they're going to
Keep 'em
stare at
busy?
you,
You
work
think
on
keep
eye
'em busy?
contact.
You think
Work
keep
on-
them as busy as possible, like like you give toddlers like shit to do, like in like preschool.
I think you need to send them a bill. Is what I think. You need to do. That's all. I can't look at this as anything other than trying to make money on it, because I think in a roundabout way, like AC's kind of right. Thank you, people. Can I book some time for my son? Yeah, I don't think you can really cure this or really do much of anything. But I mean, I think if people are going to take your time, and it's just funny, you're not offering like OnlyFans or anything like that, are you?
No,
Are you, like,
of course
leg?
not. In the
No.
disclaimers, I am saying like no solicitations.
Wow.
And I'm asking the men to actively like if you're getting solicited in DMs.
Where's the Discord link,
DM
Bo?
me about it, and DM me about it if you're getting.
Where did you get this
solicitations.
wonderful idea from? Like, where did you get this from?
Oh, okay. So I saw on my timeline this very cute girl I know. She's really beautiful. She posted a selfie, and like it wasn't like particularly provocative or anything. It was just a very cute, flattering selfie of her.
Gotcha.
And it was just the amount of autistic men in her quote tweets and
Was she
replies.
cosplaying? Was she cosplaying?
No, she wasn't. No,
She wasn't?
It
And
was,
still got attention?
it was just a regular, old selfie, and she's just like, "Hi, I just am about to like brush my hair and do my makeup."
I gotcha.
It was just like the replies just kind of startled me. How like I could tell these men were like, trying to like shoot their shot halfway. Some of them,
Sure.
but didn't know how to do it. It was like I don't know how to exactly word it, but it was like.
It's not always easy, I've noticed, for women. Girls do this thing when I was a teenager, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, where I'm a girl, I know women. That's not always the case in my experience. Sometimes girls don't know shit about women, probably even less than men themselves. So, like, I guess, I imagine a set of goals would be very helpful. I mean, honestly, I gotta be honest with you, at some level, I want to get paid. I want in this project.
Yeah, you want in on the franchise?
Yes, I want the money because I got great ideas. I think you should probably come up with ways to monetize it, and one-on-one talking.
So, like,
I think you
we're
should
at
have
the
group.
point where no events are planned, and we're looking for ideas.
It'd be a good love phones, Tommy.
Really
Like,
fantastic love phones.
Yeah.
I go
Hey,
over there.
yeah.
We could get them
Jemy,
monetized up, and they send the tards over
some
here.
of them, I think, would unironically be totally down with signing up for a dating show within the server. I would just have to find e-girls that are single that would agree to, like, I don't know how it works. What happens? Like, I've never really watched what happens when like a guy wins a dating show? Are they like forced to date? Like, what happens?
They
Well,
usually get
you
to
would
go
like
out- yeah,
try to
they-
set them up on one.
They
right?
take
Yeah, they
the
go
girl
on an
out,
e-date. What you do
actually.
is
I guess you send them on a romantic e-date together.
yeah, and you live stream the e-date.
Oh God, yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
Go.
I think like
Okay.
honestly,
We're talking money.
incorporating this into, like I think like obviously they're gonna understand that there's some fun to this. Like people are gonna be like
This is
kinda, like,
goofing.
like-
Yeah, I do a
there's some
love phone
goofiness to
show,
this.
and we have
But,
autistic guys call it in, and
I
they
think some
they
of them
know
would be
they're
more than
a
willing
part
to
of the
sign
joke
up.
a bit.
That if there was like some of them are, and the ones that don't want to be a part of the joke, they just don't sign up.
Don't do that
like,
one.
Yeah, and I think some of them would definitely sign up. And if I could find a single e-girl that's like, yeah, I'll date, I'll e-date one of the guys on like a romantic e-date and see where it kicks off, I
You
think,
know what?
I
You know
think
what you
I
need
wanna
to do? You need to sit down and with the girls, right? Because this is your service, and you got to come up. Okay, I'm offering this service. I'm going. When I'm saying service, I'm not saying anything sexual, by the way. With this service,
Yeah.
that service, the eye contact, and you got to go sit down and scratch them all out. Now they're coming into the server now, and then here's my pay. You want this service? Here's my PayPal, and then you got to start booking your stuff right, and you just collect the dough. You just got to kind of like.
I'm like very nervous about doing that because I just feel like it can like turn into a manipulative franchise, like even if not purposely,
you made me
like
say
too
that.
quick. I mean, look at the yes, of course, some of it's obviously ironic, but like guys that unironically go bankrupt for Pokemon, and it's like
Oh,
that's
you're worried
exactly
about being
what I'm trying to
predatory.
avoid.
I don't know how you don't do that. Because
Yeah, it's like,
otherwise,
how do
but
I,
here's
like,
the
drop
thing:
their
you're not a
PayPal? Like, let's say
you're not a
they have leads,
psychologist.
and then someone just drops them like a solid grand,
No, I wouldn't do this, but I think I'd do $50 a half an hour to have a conversation with you. Why not start there? And come
It's
up
a
with some
good-
kind of thing.
It is a good start. I may, if we continue.
And then
to
the
have
girls do.
lot
You
of
get a
girls
cut of what the
server-
girls do. You're gonna get like a
like-
10% cut of what
Oh,
they're
like
getting.
on the
Yeah.
madam, like the
Yeah,
madam.
goddamn right. You're goddamn right. Holy
It's a good
crap.
idea.
Are you
I think,
convincing her
if
into
we-
tea
So,
prostitution?
yeah, you're
Tom?
talking about exactly. You're talking about prostitution.
We
You're
don't
He's
talking
not.
about-
have, like, a
No, they're not doing anything
disparity.
sexual. They're just having a conversation. It's not prostitution at all.
Well, I mean, an
Why
escort
Why are
service
women
is
so
kinda like
dirty
that.
to you? Why are they so dirty and disgusting? Who did you dirty, AC? God, I've been divorced and I don't hate women as much as you.
You're Tommy. Don't be a bitch. Okay, I didn't fucking come
I
up with
just
that
read
idea.
that
Tom Matt said
donation.
that.
I read a donation. Somebody was asking how many of these men come from like a lack of father figure or his household.
I'm
I
interested.
haven't done that
Oh,
deep
that
enough yet. to
was
figure
my
that out.
question. How many men are like supervising this? Like mods, like your friend here. How many of those are in the server? Because I figure that you can't all just be like women running the show.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
obviously.
it's not all women. I think it's like an even amount of women and men as mods right now.
Okay.
But,
So it should be able to run. You feel better, AC?
number one though. Like me and Roach are just duoing this shit. Like it's mainly us as like the main moderators, like really watching. And like sometimes, I sleep more than Roach does. Like Roach is just like, I don't know, like a freaking vampire. So like he's just up at like all times. Like and like he's really been going above and beyond with like helping me out. I just
You sure
like,
he's not into you?
no. So Roach,
No, not at all. No.
the thing is though,
No.
Daddy
Roach,
came
I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm assuming, like, I like to hear your opinion, Rocha. You see the potential in this as much as I do. I'm assuming that's why you're like helping me dedicate.
You have a Mediger avatar here. I'm assuming you're autistic.
Medicoomer.
Yes, sir.
Are you?
I've been really pretending to be autistic for several years now.
No, I was accusing you of it. I didn't say you were pretending. Are you pretending?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay.
No, Jenny's. How do I explain this? It's like I help her out,
Mhm.
right? It's like, okay, mod the chat, but I'm gonna be real. I don't really think you can reform incels.
Sure.
In my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm mostly
and
just
making
in
it
it for
sell
the
into a house
laughs.
husband.
Can you get him on the road to
like-
I think talking is probably the biggest. Can you get him on the road to just be able to speak and be comfortable?
Yeah. What do you think? Well, Roach, like branching off of what you said, I'd like to ask you, because you're like my right hand guy in this. Like we haven't actually discussed this like one on one. So Roach, how far do you think we can like go with helping some of these guys? Do you think any of them are gonna be helped? Like, as you see me kind of like toy along with this, like
feel good for the
what do you
moment.
see? Like we need a man's perspective, you know, like someone.
Well, based on my experience with the gentlemen in our fine establishment, there's a few of them I think that could be saved, but I think that at least half of them are in there shit posting and trolling, and the genuine ones that are actual incels, a lot of them are beyond redemption, and they just want to talk about harming women.
I gotta get in this fucking place.
Like one guy was like, "Oh, hey man, how do I get a girlfriend?" Another guy chimed in, it's like, "Oh, just buy a roll of duct tape and a pistol."
This sounds like a cool place.
That sounds pretty based.
AC's
The worrying
guys.
part is obviously we're all laughing here, but like the scary part is like
You gotta be
like,
careful.
the chance of lurkers like taking that as at face value because they're just fucking nuts. Like,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah. So I see stuff like that, and it's like, hey, that's kind of funny. I'm laughing a bit, but maybe I should just, right-click, delete message, just to be safe.
Maybe Janny should clean it up a
You
little.
should be charging
Oh.
$50
Because,
per
like,
half
a
an
party wants
hour.
to laugh at it and just leave it up, but then the other party is like, ooh, like, is something bad gonna happen because I leave this?
Yeah.
Why don't you just
Pretty
charge
bad.
$50 per half an hour, and you can talk about whatever you want, but you're more like talking about dating, and just be upfront with the fact that we're not dating, but we could talk about dating and talking about girls. And even if they're in there, just like they have a hard on for you, as long as they're not inappropriate, and you can have a rule if you say anything sexual about me then I'm taking your 50 because you got to pay up front. All right.
Yeah.
And I hang up on you out of luck. Do that. That's what I'd do. And then I take 10% off all the other girls. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And just talk. You don't promise them anything sexual. Just talk.
Like for the guys to, sit down and get some e-girl.
You know what you should call it? Rent a friend zone. That's what you should call it.
It could be one-on-one. It could be like multiple guys sitting in and like many.
You can mix it up, but like most guys gonna want one-on-one attention from a girl. That's what I think.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so as well.
That's just.
And it's tough though. There's a lot of good ideas being tossed my way.
Yeah.
It's just execution is like the fishiest part.
Sure.
Like,
you need somebody. You need a manager to organize
Yeah.
this stuff.
I need someone to manage me. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's tough to figure out. Especially I'm worried for the ones that like for example, I don't think I'm gonna charge to like have people talk to me.
You're crazy.
Like,
You're crazy.
Does that mean
You're crazy.
like people are gonna like be like, oh, like I'll just go for the free e-girl.
Well, don't you have a job? Like, where are you gonna get time to do this? Don't you have a job? I mean, like, don't you have a job? I mean, I don't understand what's wrong with having appointments.
I'm a NEET, not in employment.
Wait. A NEET is out here is
NEET?
telling people how to like be sociable and like instructing them on how to improve that. Doesn't that seem a bit ironic?
No, see, I don't think that's what she's doing. I think that's.
I got a fiance, like I'm paid for, I'm good to go. Like,
what's a NEET, by the way? Help me out.
Not in employment, education, or training for
Well, this is a good. This is a way to employment. I don't understand why you're being so resistant. It's kind of autistic.
And I have been, my fiance, like he's not against the idea. He's definitely like worried for me though.
Thank you, Erica.
He's worried like he knows when I tend to get invested into like projects like this. I get heavily invested and I'll spend days like, trying to take care of it, moderate, like try to make it better. And at the same time though, he's worried like, how am I gonna get treated is gonna like impact like how I
You
feel,
give me $200, I'll go in there and have a meeting with you and your husband. We'll set up a way to monetize it, and then I'll leave.
But at the same time, I sit him down sometimes. I'm like, this is a business opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. Like when I saw it, I'm almost a little ACMC. I've changed my mind. Gemy is doing the Lord's work. And when I first, I thought you were gonna be a little more financially ambitious. Like you do seem on some level that you care. I don't think that's a good thing.
Look, Tommy, if she starts charging, then this interview is going to cost a fortune.
No, it's
Let me
not.
tell you.
Because I won't pay her. She came on here. I'm giving her free
Oh,
promotion. That's
okay.
it.
I see how it is. You wanted her to charge everybody but you.
Why would they charge me? I'm not. I have a wife.
She's
upstairs.
got a lot of time. She does not have a lot of time. Okay, she's got stuff to do. She's got important shit
I
to
love
do,
how you're
Tommy.
putting the hooker thing on her. She hasn't done anything but tell you what she wants to do, and then
didn't
she
say
doesn't want to
hooker.
charge.
What did I say?
And now
I
you're
never
making her
said
out to be a
hooker.
hooker. Okay.
Yeah,
What
I never
is your
said hooker.
problem?
I just said she's a busy
And here's
woman.
the best part.
I'll
AC
be
used to
I'll
have
be
sex,
down
and he used to
to
have
hang
a
out.
girlfriend, and he pulled up the pussy ladder so none of the incels can get any, and he feels perfectly happy. Like
I don't
you're like
think a little bit of
like,
pussy
you're
is
a
gonna
male
fix some of
Karen
these
for
guys'
Christ's
problems.
sake. You're a big Karen. God. What?
Gemy, how much hate have you gotten from this whole thing? Have you been getting a lot of pushback, anything
A
like
lot of
that?
RFC fans are upset.
Well, actually, yes and no. Some people are very positive about it. Some people are convinced that this is like I'm a federal agent and like and, they're gonna get banned. Like,
you are.
I mean, some people are so convinced that after I noticed their tweet about me, like, yeah, you're a federal agent, you're like a fucking honeypot, like, fuck you, like, I get blocked. So they're being unironic, like, they're dead serious.
They're dead
like,
serious. That's so funny.
they've been
That
telling
seems
other people
fishy.
that I'm a federal agent.
You think she's a federal agent too, AC?
You guys are like, the vans are on the way. You guys better get your shit packed.
Hey Tommy, can I give you some info? AUTSTIC today, he just
Sure.
DM'd me and said they are calling Tommy fat retard Jew in her server. LOL.
Now I know the clientele you have. Hey, tell them I got laid last night.
They're trying.
You know.
They're trying to.
I can't believe you
Me
made me say that.
You're roboting.
Yeah,
Oh,
robot,
you're
but
roboting,
thank
bro.
you so,
Do
King
that.
Brick. I'm on AC on this fuck the fence.
Because Gemy, I was noticing.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say, yeah, they're pinging me. They're saying, "Hey, call Tommy a fat retard." Hey,
Oh, God.
They're the one. They're the incel
do
server,
it,
not
do
me.
it, do it.
Gemy, I was noticing you were getting like crap from
can't
both
believe you
sides
made
of
me
the
say
political
that.
spectrum.
Mm.
You had
Oh,
one
yeah.
side who were angry that you were letting trans people into the server, and then you had one side that were angry that you weren't
Oh, that's
giving the
so
trans
funny.
people the e-girl role.
Yep. You can never win, huh?
Oh my
Sure.
God. So, all right, this is Gemy making a post right here. I'll read it for you. Me fighting off internet Christians. Being called a trans supporter and saying trans people are human, being like the rest of us, and they can come into my server fighting off progressivists and being labeled a transphobe because I refuse to give them a femoid role. That's so funny. So there are transgender male to female that think they're entitled to a role. I mean, I imagine there probably are guys that want to talk to transgender girls, male to female, correct?
No.
Yeah, and I
Yes,
mean,
there's
I
probably,
haven't
I'm
seen
sure.
it happen much. I don't
Probably
know.
mostly
I
Christian guys that are uptight.
ironically post
Yeah.
stuff like that. But like, I mean, I don't know. I've definitely seen some guys in the Twitter sphere that would ironically post shit like that, and then suddenly, boom, bam, like they got this like femboy like shacking up with them. So like, you never know.
Okay.
But yeah, I got pushback from again, I call them internet Christians, quote unquote. Like I really don't know if they're like practicing Catholics or Orthodox, but or Protestants. But the thing is, you know, it's a lot of stuff I couldn't. That was like the most gentle way I could.
I'm a
put it.
biological female, but fuck you, you transphobe. Man, I have the best of both worlds, so
yeah.
you can't win. Condemned by Catholic Twitter. Well, that's too funny. Well, I mean, I imagine I'm looking at this as a business, and I think you should, you know, if you're going to provide this service, this is not prostitution. It's not illegal. It's an easy way to make money, and you seem to be somewhat sincere with your intentions. I mean, if you can, you know, basically put on the nice girl act and say, hey, well, why don't you try this next time you talk to her, or why don't you try that? Want to talk to her, or maybe it's just like, can you listen? I made a speed run. Will you watch it with me? Yeah, sure, I'd watch it with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, if you're paying for it for them, that's a different story. But as far as you doing that, you know, it's not like you're losing your soul or anything, or going to get jaded over sex when the whole thing's done. You're just going to collect dough, and you know they'll be pacified for a minute. I don't know if they can get anything, and I think it's the AC saying, I don't know if they can get anything out of it. But you know, when you drink a couple of beers, you get drunk, and then that goes away, and then even sex goes away. It happens and it's done. Absolutely. Why not? If that's what you got to do to kind of, you know, if you could just, you know, kind of rent a friend zone. If that's what gets you by, I don't see what's wrong with that. You know?
It's definitely a real possibility for the future. I feel like we're kind of in the phases where how would you word it? I don't know, you ever see a new business open and like they're handing out like a shitload of free samples, like, and like
you're
they're
doing
not,
the free samples now?
Yeah, this is like the free sample phase. You know, we're like testing out how people are liking the product, like what's going on, like is it monetized later?
Sure. Okay.
You know, and
enough.
I think there will be like some e-girls that are like, because there is quite a few nice e-girls in there, and I think there are quite a few, like not quite a few, but like I can think of a couple that are just be like, no, I just want to help for free.
All you gotta
and, like,
do is be
like,
a nice girl for 30 minutes. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta pretend to be a nice girl. That's it.
And do not have a boyfriend. She better not have a boyfriend.
Yeah. You can lie to him about having a boyfriend. You're engaged, you said, right?
I am, yes.
Congratulations. Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, I think this is fantastic. You don't have to lie though. You can't. I'm surprised you even said that. Where maybe you could have, you know, you should pull the Pokemon, acts like you're the Virgin Mary. You know, I guess you're gonna tell them you have a boyfriend. I guess you're doing a friend zone thing.
They know. I tell them like as soon as I can. Like if they're like, you know, like.
Pokemon thinks you're stupid, by the way.
Sideways or whatever. I'm like, you know, look, like, you know, don't be DMing me weird shit. Like, I got a fiance.
Well, you probably shouldn't. You should have separate DMs. DMs for, you know, I have DMs that
it's better to pull it off fast. And that's what I recommend to all the girls too. It's like it's much better to like just get that shit squashed like as fast as possible.
Yeah. I also believe Jack Blondie 2 minutes and there it is interesting. I also think like I don't know what these progressivists are doing. I mean, I think you have a right to know what equipment the girl is packing, whether it be,
and despite my disclaimers, I've still had trans people coming in trying to get the femoid role. And you know, you know, it's like we'll kind of be like, hey, like, are you?
I think you need another role. People that are on the payroll,
like trans person. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, I'm just like, you know, like I'll just ask them, and then, you know, I'll tell them like, look, like, you know, you can't have the female role. Like, you know, I'm not here to like trick men. You know,
yeah,
like,
that's wrong. That's
and like this
wrong.
isn't like a pink pill server. You know, it's like I don't know what like sissy hypno stuff you think is going on here, but like I've been
I agree. I don't think that's right. I mean, let's talk about this right here. This is kind of interesting.
Oh boy.
So basically, this is we watched this drunk guy in Discord go on a Omegle. It was funny at first, typical Fed posting stuff like saying slurs. Hi, it's okay. Watching Discord and it's beyond autism. It's cause for euthanasia, and we didn't even get to the femoid role. That's a friend of mine, by the way. Let's see, saying slurs and we were laughing. Then he started getting children who were on a Omegle and saying insanely sexual shit to them as a joke. We asked him to cut that shit out. After he finished his Omegle stream, he started jerking off to me while trying to be conspicuous. And then a minute later, he just whipped out his dick for us in the video chat. So I disconnected him, and then he came back. Well, this is, you know, to me, sister, this is just a part of the job.
It is like I actually
comes with the territory.
Have you ever had a guy like literally just start talking to you and he's just whacking off? It's like you clearly see he's whacking off. Has that ever happened before?
No. That was the first time. Like, there's been one time a guy was making his video was turned on, but it was really freaking me out.
Yeah.
You know, like he was doing some like heavy breathing noises. I thought I heard a belt buckle, like unironically. I literally thought I heard a fucking belt buckle.
So you sound like,
I pray to God it was like anything but that.
So you're ready. So you got to prepare the girls for that because that's going to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's inappropriate.
Why,
you can't allow that.
If I see like minors sneaking their way in, I get them out like as
Okay.
fast as fucking possible. You
Yeah,
know,
it's-
like
well,
it's
good.
like if I find out that shit, and I actively discuss that with the other people in the server and the mods and the e-girls, and they all agree. Like
No whacking off.
That, like most sane people are on watch for minors and like also the sex pests that are just doing freaky ass shit. Like
So, but as a woman, like you can deal with some creep like whacking off, and you can say, "Just get out of here, buddy." That's not going to ruin your day or anything.
Oh yeah, that guy called me back the day after that. I was trying to find out more about him because I was genuinely curious. He called me back. I turned on my video because I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's go, bitch. Like, let's see what you're gonna.
I'm sorry, that'll never happen again. Is that what he said?
No, he turned on video and he pulled his dick out again. And so I stood my ground. I stood my ground. I said, I don't care if your dick's out. I'm finding out what your. I was much nicer. I was very genuinely interested in if he was being like ironic and just not afraid of getting caught. Turns out he does like meth.
Really?
He's like on house arrest. And it's like being extended 5 months or some shit. And like he's been psyched and he got like charges dropped and like house arrest was like the latter charge because of like mental health reasons. It sounds like. And and like he was gloating about taking a shit on his mother's floor and having his mother clean it up. And I was just like, okay, this is like a real like.
Yeah, it's a psychopath. I mean, the guy's.
I was like, this is like,
right,
I was seeing if he was on like.
I'm gonna bring one of these incels in now. We got angry.
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Oh, he disappeared, little prick.
He did.
Immediately, like just as I was doing, he'll come back as soon as he realizes because he's an attention whore. There he is. Here we. Oh, this guy is complete. What is he doing? Okay.
What are you doing?
Angry, give him a week.
I think he's starting to jack
give him a week. Give him a week
Parent.
suspension for fucking my show up. All right.
All right, gotcha.
1 week off,
Yeah.
prick. I wanted to talk to him. I think I shouldn't even talk, so he can't call in for a week. Tiana L, can I meet the fellow meth?
Oh my god!
It's inside.
Method dating service when?
I did. I do
No,
sound. I
Well,
do have
that's
something.
speed dating on a whole nother level.
Now we're gonna get something. Speed dating. We're gonna get something. That's like I imagine this will. This is a censored one. This is the one I made.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah,
Make sure you
yeah,
get that right.
yeah. I got it. I think I'm not Fed posting here or anything, but I think it's fair to ask you about this particular incident.
Of course, yeah. One of my
Because
favorite
it
topics.
is kind of I was quite shocked by this. I didn't put you on this hand. Here we go.
Hi everyone, good morning. You know what they say, mutuals? The early bird gets the worm. Except if you're near, then you die. And you burn in hell in a boiling vat of lava, and then you're stuck there for all of eternity for being a dirty Nick.
This is one
Going
of my favorite
berserk in
things to get
there.
asked about.
Okay. We're back. I apologize. The first time in history, XSplit actually crashed straight up. That was quite a video. From what I understand, that's went viral. Well, why did you say that?
That's a good question. I kind of like being a shock jockey on occasion. I like making people mad.
Were you not? That's a very damaging.
Morning,
That's a very damaging mad. That could don't you worry that could affect you down the road? Like
Oh no, my dad knows about it.
Oh,
He sends me
okay.
pictures of early bird signs.
You don't feel that way, do you?
No, actually, no, I don't.
So
No,
you're-
she's just an e-Catholic.
So you were pretending to be a bigot? Was that it? Were you pretending to be a crazed bigot?
Yes and no. I mean, the fun fact about that video is, I have schizoaffective disorder. And,
What is that? What does that mean? You got to tell me.
Schizoaffective disorder is basically, in my particular case, I have bipolar, and then occasionally I have schizophrenic symptoms. In that particular moment, I was going through a psychosis, and what ended up happening was.
Does it always make you racist?
I mean, in that particular moment, I was going through. It's at a time period where I was not concerned about consequences.
I see.
I would do it again, though. I think I would do it again, regardless. But
What?
it was at a time
That's kind
where
of
I was
schizo.
like highly uncaring of consequences. So like I just had like, you know, and yeah, go ahead.
Gemy, were you having psychosis yesterday? Because you tweeted out a video of you saying the N-word over and over.
Oh yeah, I was having psychosis during that one too. You know, obviously this is something I do even when I'm not in psychosis. But like that one was probably like by far like, you know, the worst one I've done. And the funny thing was my therapist called me that day and she was like, "Listen, bitch, you've been dodging my calls. Like I know you're fucking, like I know you're like taking your medicine." And she didn't know about the video, but she did know I was dodging your calls. So she said like, and I guess like a couple of my family members snitched on me on like my erratic behavior. So she said like, you know, either you show up at like this X place tomorrow, which is like Behavioral Reformation Center, like basically a psych ward, like fancier psych ward, or we're gonna come get you, like, and then you're involuntary. So I packed my shit, like, and then the next day I was in a psych ward.
No,
and by the way, Roach is waiting to get dragged in. I apologize.
Are you American or Canadian?
American.
You're American, all right. Nobody can put you in a psych ward nowadays.
Well,
just bluffing.
you know, I have a splotchy history. Not like obviously criminal.
Oh, so they can put you in a psych ward, but not most people.
They consider me a high priority case for some reason in my county.
Have you ever killed a cat or something? Or
no, I think it's just I have a high priority case brother as well, who's far more low functioning than me. He hit the newspapers once as well.
Low functioning? You don't seem like. Are you autistic?
No. Nope. Just high functioning schizophrenic.
You are schizophrenic, so
like,
you're not joking, or you're not like fucking with it. You have schizophrenia, because my stepbrother.
No, I do. Yeah, absolutely. No, I take 5 medicines a day.
Oh man, that's I can't make funny.
Does it sound like the blind leading the blind?
Is that a fair criticism? Is that you have a good sense of humor. I like that. But is that a fair criticism that you have this disorder? And it's not funny on the surface. Yeah.
But I'm not a therapist. Like I'm not licensed.
Yeah, you're not saying you're a therapist.
I'm just I'm just someone that like made a server and like I just like obviously I take fair criticisms like that. Like there really is no answer. Like sure. If people want to see it that way, they don't have to join. Like if they
see, as long as I think as long as you're selling, like if I were to go in like give you $50 or whatever, and you just start having this like. You're very conversational, and then you just have this conversation. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, you're being upfront. Are you afraid to have an episode like when you're talking to one of these autists? Like all of a sudden you guys start going bugs out of nowhere.
He's going, they're in my walls. They're in my walls. No. Usually stuff like that is for me, at least, I'm pretty high functioning for like the diagnosis I have. It's like a slow descent, and I notice it.
Oh, you can feel it. You can feel it coming.
Yeah,
I had a friend that could feel it coming.
I know when to tap out and like log off, basically.
Okay. I'm sorry you have that condition, by the way. I don't think that's funny, but I think it's cool that you can laugh at yourself and say they're in the walls, they're in the walls, they're in the walls.
Yeah,
it's fucking funny.
One time when I was not doing okay.
Okay.
I was really bad, and I definitely was neglecting my antipsychotic. It's like my least favorite one to take. That's the one I'll take every other medicine. That's the one. My fiance literally like sometimes he like stays up late to like watch me take it. He's like,
sure, I understand.
Like that's it's the one the schizophrenics avoid is the antipsychotic. So at this one particular time I didn't take it for probably like 2 weeks, and
why don't you take it? It makes you feel kind of numb or anything, or
I don't know. It's just like this like aversion to it. I cannot even explain it. I think.
Do you think that like the psychotic part of you wants to be psychotic?
Yeah, I really do.
Yo, really? That's so weird. That's so weird because a lot of people do that. A lot of like.
My older brother, who's very low functioning, from what I've heard, he's the same way. Like he'll like play ball with his other medicines, but like he'll like spit out the antipsychotic like if he can. Weird.
It's almost like you're possessed by something. That's so weird.
Yeah, there's like and
it's fighting not to
weird,
be shelved
at this particular moment with the thing about shit being in the walls. We had a knock at the door, and I was summoned to a small claims court, and the lawyer was not nice, like the one serving the summons, and it was over like $125.
I can't believe you made me
like
say
these stupid
that.
fuckheads. Like, you know, like, why the fuck you trying to take me to small claims court for 120? I was like pissed. I never had a summons. I was anxious, and because I was already kind of like suffering, I started having these like minor delusions that like lawyers were hiding in my cabinets, and I started checking all the cabinets.
They kind of are symbolically. They are. So I mean,
yeah, like they really, there's some truth to
They're
that.
everywhere.
So
You're too funny. Do you want to take some calls, like from randos? What do you think?
yeah, I would love to. Yeah, of course.
I think you're very good. That's a serious problem, and it's not. I got news for you. All mental illness is really funny at some level.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, it can be really funny, but it's nice that
you
you can laugh about it because it isn't funny if you have it for sure.
Oh yeah,
great.
Hello?
Centerman, do you have any questions for Gemy? Mr. Centerman?
Yeah, I actually do have one question.
Sure.
So, like, how? What gave you the idea of like, man, I want to go and talk to these autistic little retards and tell them how to get pussy?
It's not kind of what she said. That's not really what she said.
Part of it was the selfie drop, but I mean, if we're gonna go further back than that, like my friend dropped a selfie, and then seeing all the autistic men try to shoot their shot, but like, you know, like fall over their own words, like even in text, you know, that was the main thing that gave me like, oh, well, voila, I can.
But
like.
I gotta correct this guy though. That's not what she said in this entire interview. What she's talking about is she's wants to return interaction, and she feels it may, and she's not saying she's a psychiatrist or a therapist. But the actual interaction may help for an actual IRL interaction. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
And is that fair?
Sorry
Am I
about
putting words in your mouth?
Because yeah, I was kind of like
understand
tuning
the
in and out
question.
to the stream.
It's okay. I understand the question though.
Yeah.
So if you're going further back than that, my fiance before we started dating, he could technically be classified as maybe like incel, volcel. Volcel being voluntarily celibate, incel being like.
Are you attracted to these dorky guys at some level?
Yeah, I am.
You are. I've heard of you girls. I've heard of girls like you. I didn't believe it. I Monkey Jones did this thing about this girl. One of those stories he used to do in black and white about relationships. And there was a girl. I think she was like half American Indian, and she was attracted to these incel guys. And the interesting thing was, and maybe you've heard of this because I haven't want to. When you get these incel, these sort of guys that won't say boo to women or have difficulty, when he actually got in a relationship, shockingly, the guy became like uber macho and started like smacking her around. You know, is that a common thing with the incels? Once they feel comfortable, the psycho comes out. Because I've heard this. I don't know if it's true.
Yes and no. I mean, from what I've heard, like some of my friends who have kind of like been involved, like I can't say that for my case. Like my
Your
my
case is
fiance
different.
really nice. Like I'm definitely like the more like manly one in the relationship. He's kind of like more like a feminine, quiet guy. Like he's very shy. Like you know, I'd probably be the first one to throw a punch. But you know, when it
so
comes
he's more
to,
A, you're more A, he's more B personality, so to speak.
Yeah,
and that can be
yes,
seen as
absolutely.
him being slightly more feminine than
yes,
than
yeah.
you. I say, I got you.
And you know, but I've heard of my friends taking up relationships with you know, like a guy that maybe doesn't like go to the incel communities like online, but he's like technically an incel.
He like
you know?
browses
Or-
4chan sometimes, right?
No, like he's like it's a guy that's like, you know, out of that social circle, but like still classified as an involuntary celibate, you know, until they
okay.
started dating. And then I hear these stories like, you know, like he's uber aggressive, like he's super sweet at first, like really quiet, and then you know, she kind of like extended her hand to him, and then like, you know, the next thing you know, they're living together and he's like punching walls like right next to her head, and like that's the scary part of it. Like, you know, there is a risk, like some of these guys have like serious problems, and they kind of manifest like when they're with someone that they finally feel comfortable with, and someone who's like, you know, they feel like they can belittle, and that's the fucked up part. Like that
yeah, it's just weird that like some
of
of these guys that, and I am being general here because I don't know, that once they get like once their dreams are answered, they get more abusive than.
I feel like it's definitely not a textbook case. I feel like a lot of them I've ran into at least.
You have run into that
guys,
prototype I just talked about. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them I run into are just shy, and like that is like their like kind of killer. That's like keep getting laid. Like they might not have many other problems. They're just shy, and like that's like a killer for them.
Yeah.
And
Shy is.
but there obviously is like you're very textbook incel type of guy.
Girl can spell loser
when it gets
around the
to-
block. I mean, it's just an instant natural instinct. They really can. And what you want to do is put on deodorant so they don't smell the loser as much. All right, get out of here. Great, whatever your name is. Let's put in Agmar. Agmar, you got any questions for Gemy?
Hello.
Agmar?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
What's up? So, I want to know if to you, I forget your name.
Gemy.
Gemy, yeah. Yep.
Cool. Do you think there's a big difference between like e-dating and actually like online dating? I'm just curious because
that is a good question. There's definitely differences. I have not real life dated much.
Really?
Believe it or not.
I wonder if that's the case with a lot of people your age and younger.
My first relationship was with a guy I met online in an MMO Final Fantasy 11.
You know this word. You're perfect for this job. You're perfect.
Yeah, I'm showing my age here. And we dated for 7 years. And I think it's okay to say here, but the TLDR is year 7. I found out he was a pedophile.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh well, GG, fuck.
That didn't really answer the question. I thought that was quite a similar anecdote. That didn't really answer your question, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
Anyways, after telling that dark shit, with e-dating and real life dating, from what I've experienced, real life dating, there's like a lot of nuances like that I don't get personally. I mean, I have a harder time with social personal dating. I don't know why. I think maybe I really don't know. I've had an easier time e-dating. But I do set up like boundaries, like for people who tell me like, hey, I'm about to get into an e-relationship.
You don't need to be worrying about any of this. You need to be charging these guys to have nice conversations with them about stupid fucking hobbies. I think the more you try to help these boys, like permanently, the more you'll fuck them up. Take their money and be nice to them. It's completely legal. Take their money and be, because I gotta be honest with you, you're a very affable. You're a very affable person.
So if they do e-date, I've had guys come to me be like, Jen, I'm about to e-date. I heard you e-dated your fiance. Like, what do you do? And I say like you have to set a boundary. Meet within the first 6 to 8 months, and like if you guys don't meet within the first 6 to 8 months, you really gotta start reassessing.
The thing. So you got a plan.
Yeah. Now that's kind of interesting you met that, because me and my girlfriend, we kind of started out like online, but like I'm flying to see her in July because she was in Boston and I live in Ohio. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean we make it work because it's like, I have the actual like I have an income to where I can just, whenever I want to, I can just fly out and see her. So it's not a big issue.
Most e-couples, I see that like kind of like fall into this like stagnant thing where they're like, okay, like you guys have been fucking saying you're e-dating for like 3 years, like you haven't even fucking met. Like if they just refuse to meet up, like they cancel plans, one of them
sometimes
is
it's financial too, in fairness. I don't
financial, but in times like that, it can really like just put it like, when you come to month 6 and month 8 and you haven't had physical contact with this person, like,
you're realistic about it. See, I don't believe in e-dating at all, but just for the reasons, but you seem a little more, we might disagree about e-dating. You got to make it. It almost sounds like you've been dating for a while. It's like, look, we got to get married one day, asshole. I'm on the clock here.
I'm in a weird spot because my girlfriend doesn't want to get married at all. She didn't even want kids, which I'm okay with. I don't want kids. But like, it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's a generation thing because I'm like a millennial. So I'm kind of like in the middle between the Zoomers and the Boomers. I'm like in that weird spot. So I just kind of roll with it, and whatever happens, happens. And if it works,
Boomers were born in the 40s and 50s, you idiot.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're between that typical millennial moment.
Yeah. But, I like, as long as you're making an effort to like actively go see your partner. And I mean, I'm a weirdo with relationships because I've watched a lot of podcasts about it and stuff like that. So I know a little bit too much.
Yeah, I'm sure. You kidding?
Podcasts about relationships.
Yeah, I mean, like my
That's what I
girlfriend
did
does
whenever I
too.
got
It's
married. I watched a
weird.
lot of podcasts about marriage. Went well.
Man,
First time it didn't work.
So-
Second time.
I should have studied some podcasts in my first relationship.
Hey, yo, put that pussy on a podcast.
Hey man, hey, I got a great woman. I'm going to get shrooms in July, so
All right.
That's
Go.
Fuck
Bye.
yeah.
Nuts. Oh, you're crazy. Hey, kitty, how you doing?
I got a great woman. I'm gonna go do drugs.
I got a great woman. Let me just take a shot of heroin. All right, let's take another one. Really, Abby Blackbird, you're on the air with Gemy.
Hello.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Abby, what do you got for Gemy?
Okay, so I think I'm on line with Tommy on this one. I think we do a Hulu style 30-day free trial.
You want to get in on the action? You should probably talk to her. See if you get a job.
Get their credit card information.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know. Well, look, listen.
Hey,
look.
can I hire you?
Yeah, no. My parents are two very successful business owners, so I know how to run a business. I was raised by wolves, and I have woman body
What the
parts. So
hell?
I'm kind
Get
of the
in
best of all the
here.
world.
We need you.
Well, let
All you
me
gotta
make
do
something
is
that
be
doesn't
nice
have
to
like
someone.
any direct link to my
Good idea.
existence because
Excellent idea.
bros can be
I don't know.
nutty.
Yeah, I like that.
We're gonna need a dick print.
What?
We're gonna need a
Thank you, Abby. That's a good call. You can get in touch with them.
Anytime.
I'll give your at sh1r. Oh, for fuck's sake, put her Twitter in the thing. Agmar.
Sorry.
Agmar. Much worth shrooms good. Let's take a soapbox. Hey, soapbox.
Hello.
Soapbox.
What's up, Tommy?
Yeah, not me. Gemy's the star of this show.
What's up, Gemy?
Hello. How are you?
Yeah. How's it going? I wanted to ask you, what did you think about for when to approach what limits of
you need to pay this girl $50. You
discussing
can't
about
talk.
when you're talking about people specifically in discussions of, oh, I have a boyfriend and I have a relationship and I have
Soapbox, are you
this and
autistic?
that.
Are you autistic?
When you're with
Soapbox.
somebody.
Are you autistic? Can't you hear me?
Soapbox.
What?
Yeah, I got
Are
maybe
you
he's doing a
autistic?
weird thing or something.
I'm not trying to be mean. It just sounded like he was talking in slow motion.
Yeah, I know. Can you hear me, Soapbox? I don't think you can.
Soapbox.
Oh, let's bring him in
Hey,
now.
What?
retard. Hey.
Oh, okay. It might be. Soapbox, can you hear me?
Hey. Yo.
That's so
Little
weird.
retard.
Can you hear anybody?
Soapbox.
Hello,
Are you there?
Soapbox?
Oh.
box soap.
You know, I tell you something. He's in the poker server. He can't get his fucking mic to work. He probably hasn't fixed this yesterday. All right. The last one. Proudly toxic. Last thing for Gemy. We're getting out of here.
Hello.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Gemy, when are you going to give me mod? I'm tired of Roach just muting my posts, and I can't ban any girls. It's really terrible.
Cope.
Cope.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
wait.
I'm done.
Server fights coming spilling into the chat.
He's one of our lads, yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of our guys. That was one of our guys. He's mad.
Well, I am impressed with the way you're handling it. You have a good sense of humor about this.
Thank you.
Hey, AC, say something horrible about women, so you just feel better about yourself before we go.
Say something horrible about
Yeah,
women.
I don't know. Say something completely inappropriate. Go
You
ahead.
know, they'll never fill the hole in my heart.
What,
I
women?
think AC changed his mind about her because as soon as he saw the clip of her saying the N-word, he was like, okay.
Yeah, he shaves it away.
Yeah, we were onto something.
It was impressive, but
He had a moment.
you know, here's the problem. I always attract. I am like a magnet for crazy women. You know, women that are insane.
She's not coming on to you.
And that'll make you a Volcel really quick.
Yeah, but she's not coming on to you in any meaningful manner. We were having a conversation like adults. You just couldn't handle that.
What are you talking about?
Well, I couldn't talk to her having a conversation without being called a simp.
I allowed you all the time in the world. And I Let me wait it by. Do you understand how many jokes just went down the drain in order to help you out? My best friend Tommy C. All right. No, I understand. You like women. Oh, women are important. We need to put them up on a pedestal. I care about the bros, Tommy. That's why I didn't sabotage your show.
All right, we'll call it a day. Thank you, AC. Thank you, Metacoomer, with a Roach, whatever you call yourself.
Roach,
I appreciate you being on. And I think that's it for today. Stick around, Jimmy. I'll say goodbye to you properly after the credits roll.
I love you, Tommy.
I'll see you guys real soon. Look for videos. I probably, if you want to go on the Poker Fruit server, I'll be defending my sit and go title tonight. So go on the poker server if you want to win.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you about to catch a storm. I ain't never been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she about to catch a pedigree. Chi-town, the king's home, slapping fives, black stones, 6 mile to danger zones. Bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated, the evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me lead them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly. They feel my struggle, I express it through my hip hop.
All you white guys out there, you're never getting laid.
I have AUT, autism.
Yeah. Let's be friends. You're never going to make a friend.